Good morning, Tampa Bay. Let's get your day started. This is ABC Action News, taking action for you.
A community in Bartow is mourning the death of an 18-year-old student killed by a hit-and-run driver. And this morning, we're learning this tragedy highlights an uptick in hit-and-run crashes in Polk County. And we're asking local leaders why it's happening and what can be done to improve safety.
We're also following up on a food desert in South St. Pete. The meeting happening at Tangerine Plaza in just 2 hours in support they want as they head to City Hall.
Easter Sunday, just 3 days away now. Why it might cost you more this year to buy Easter candy and what's driving these price increases. Good morning, Tampa Bay. Thank you for starting your Thursday with us. I'm Dee O'Reilly.
I'm James Tully. Those stories and much more in just a moment. First, let's check in with Greg for a look at your weather.
James and Dia, thank you. About a minute after 5 o'clock on this Thursday morning. You take a live look outside here from the Rivergate Tower. Still looking at clouds. We're not done with rain yet. In fact, before sunrise, we'll see. We may see some flashes of lightning out of some of these clouds before 7 o'clock this morning. 72 degrees right now in Tampa. A southeast wind at 7. That wind is going to change in the afternoon, and as it does, that's going to signal the return of some drier air. Look at the rain yesterday and how interesting this was. We talked about it weakening as it approached I-75. Areas in the I-75 corridor west picked up 2 to 4 inches of rain yesterday. South side of Lakeland got nothing in Lake Wales. Wauchula, not a drop of rain. Bradenton, just a couple of showers. Still looking at the showers off to the west, and they're going to develop as they head east. So still looking at a rain chance this morning, but drier and sunnier for the afternoon with temperatures in the 70s.
An update this morning on the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore. The U.S. Coast Guard now says the next stage is preparing the site to safely remove the bridge and salvage the cargo ship. Crews need to first stabilize the bridge and ship, and then crews will remove the damaged shipping containers and lift the bridge off the vessel. The ship hit the bridge Tuesday morning, causing the collapse and sending at least 8 people into the water. 2 survived. The bodies of 2 construction workers were pulled from the water yesterday. 4 others remain missing, though sadly they're presumed dead. The NTSB is still investigating the crash, but we do know the ship lost power just minutes before impact.
We're breaking down the number of deadly hit-and-run accidents within our local counties. Hillsborough had the most deadly hit-and-run crashes last year with 26. All across the Bay Area, there were 75 deadly hit-and-run crashes last year. In 2022, there were 52. In 2019, 48. There's a mandatory minimum of 4 years in prison for any driver convicted of leaving the scene of a deadly crash. We want to look into traffic concerns that impact you. If there's a road in your neighborhood or near your child's school where drivers are speeding, you can scan the QR code here on your screen. It'll take you to the Driving Tampa Bay Forward page so you can get in contact with us.
Happening today, a nonprofit is presenting a proposal to the public and St. Pete city leaders about an effort to revitalize Tangerine Plaza.
Their plans include creating a free grocery store for people living in the underserved community. ABC Action News reporter Larissa Scott explains.
Easter Sunday, now just 3 days away, and if you plan to fill baskets with candy, it might cost you more this year. And that's because a couple of the main ingredients in candy have seen big price increases since last year. Sugar costs 12% more, and cocoa prices have more than tripled. Climate change in West Africa is reportedly affecting the growth of the cocoa tree. West Africa is the largest cocoa producer in the world. Easter is the 3rd most popular occasion for Americans to buy chocolate after Halloween and the winter holidays.
The United States Air Force Thunderbirds have arrived. They're based in Nevada, but in town for Tampa Bay Air Fest in MacDill Air Force Base this weekend. Thunderbirds demonstrate the incredible capabilities of the F-16 Fighting Falcon, and pilots tell us they hope their demonstration inspires the next generation of pilots to sign up for the military. Airfest is Friday and Saturday. Gates open at 8 a.m. and flying starts around noon. Traffic will be jammed and parking is scarce. People are encouraged to carpool to help ease any traffic congestion.
Coming up, squatter crackdown. The new state law targeting people who live in homes without paying rent or a mortgage. How Florida leaders say it will protect property owners in the state.
Here's a look at your Tampa Bay area drive times.
For somebody that hasn't been through this kind of situation before, it's kind of scary. You're hurt, your car's destroyed, How's this going to impact my job, my income, my future? And Fair Ferry made sure that I understood what was going to happen step by step, and they took care of me.
Squatters beware. Florida's newest law makes it easier to remove people illegally staying on private property. Soon, property owners can ask law enforcement to immediately remove a squatter if they've entered illegally, they've been told to leave and haven't, and as long as they're not a tenant involved in a legal dispute. The new law also increases penalties. It makes it a second-degree felony if squatters cause more than $1,000 in damage, and a first-degree felony for knowingly advertising a fake home sale or rental. The governor says this will streamline the process for legal homeowners.
Providing very swift remedies, because what the squatters know is even when they're in the wrong, process many times before they can be evicted, and a lot of times the process is very expensive.
The governor signed the bill into law yesterday. It will take effect in July.
The most accurate weather team in Florida, ABC Action Weather.
16 minutes after 5 o'clock, cloudy skies over Midtown Tampa. Good morning, Tampa Bay. We've got a really nice afternoon coming up. The morning, it's going to be a little iffy. It's Rays opening day. Rays up, everybody. I know a lot of you are heading over to St. Pete today to check out the Rays opening game. Of course, in the Trop, the weather doesn't matter, but a lot of you are tailgating, traveling to, or maybe spending some time in St. Pete before or after the game. So the weather absolutely a factor, and in the morning there is going to be some rain moving through. I would wait to do any kind of tailgating after maybe 9 o'clock would probably be the best bet. It is going to be windy and cooler than it's been. Temperatures only in the low to mid 70s, and those wind gusts could be up to 30 miles per hour today. Polk County, a little milder, temperatures in the upper 70s. Your rain chances are going to last a little bit later into the morning. I think between 9 a.m. and noon, whereas St. Pete and Tampa probably now until 9 a.m. So second half of the morning is where the rain is going to be east of I-75 with those sunny skies by later today. At the beaches, please be careful. High surf advisories, rip currents are going to be an issue with that onshore wind gusting over 30 and temperatures in the low 70s. Not a day for boating out there. Small craft advisories are up thanks to a strong northwest wind. Seas that will occasionally reach 8 feet and rough conditions on the bays. In fact, take a look at the predicted wind gusts for the afternoon. Solidly 25 to 30 miles an hour. Orlando, Bradenton, and Sarasota possibly gusting over 30 miles per hour during the afternoon. It's all because of the storm system. Now the cold front is still back to the west. That's where the drier air is, and out ahead of it there's still an open a possibility of some showers or thunderstorms developing this morning, and we've got rain already moving back into Citrus and Hernando County, with these showers potentially developing farther south as we go through the morning. So Pinellas, Hillsborough, and Polk County may still get a little bit of rain. In fact, that's what Futurecast is looking at from the Bay North, at least the chance for some rain. And if you do get a shower, a quarter an inch or maybe more possible with some of these downpours. As these showers move through, maybe some lightning and thunder too. They're all east of us by the afternoon with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. An absolutely gorgeous Friday with light winds and sunny skies, and a really nice weekend too.
It's important to always wash your hands after touching raw meat if you want to avoid getting sick.
Salmonella is a bacterial infection that people can get from touching contaminated food or through contaminated water, or perhaps from their pet.
Coming up, who's most at risk from a salmonella infection and how to protect yourself if your pet carries the bacteria.
Today, Hillsborough County honors Vietnam War veterans. Hear from a 93-year-old veteran about why he says it's important for him to still serve our country.
ABC Action News is sponsored by Courtesy Kia of Brandon.
I'm Allison Godlove, co-host of Tampa Bay's Morning Blend on WFTS. Join me here at Bank of America Plaza. That's right, the Tampa tradition is back. The Fight for Air Climb returns Saturday, April 6th. Stair climb 42 floors, 900 steps to the top for one-of-a-kind views of the Bay Area. Support clean air, healthy lungs, and help save lives. The American Lung Association's Fight for Air Climb at Bank of America Plaza on Saturday, April 6th. Learn more at climbtampa.org.
Salmonella is a bacterial infection that you can get from touching contaminated foods, including raw or undercooked meat and poultry products or eggs. Your pet and the food that they eat can also carry salmonella. Animals can carry the bacteria in their saliva and stool and then spread it by touching you or licking you. Salmonella can cause a fever, abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea. A Mayo Clinic doctor explains prevention is the best way to keep your family safe.
So that requires us to wash our hands consistently, be thoughtful about washing your pet bowls, be thoughtful about their food, wash your hands after you handle certain animal environments, maybe their beds, sheets, that sort of thing.
Young children, older adults, and immunocompromised people are most at risk for getting sick from a salmonella infection. Doctors say most patients, though, can recover on their own, but complications can require hospitalizations. Predatory tutors. If your teen is preparing to take those crucial college entrance exams, our Jackie Calloway has a warning for you. Coming up, how people online are pretending to offer help, but really looking to take advantage of students.
In about a decade, it's predicted that Florida will have nearly 18,000 doctors less than what we need. Coming up, we're taking a look at what local family health centers are doing to help fix that.
ABC Action News is sponsored by Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Tampa.
ABC Action News Plus. It's local news you know and trust. Available anywhere at any time for free. No subscriptions, no nonsense. Free. Just download ABC Action News Plus on your favorite device to watch our 24/7 streaming news channel. Plus, access to exclusive interviews. Plus, a library of original content. Plus, award-winning investigations and more.
ABC Action News Plus is sponsored by Culpeper Curland. Auto accident? Call Culpeper Curland.
ABC Action Traffic is sponsored by Farah and Farah.
Good morning, Tampa Bay. Let's get your day started. This is ABC Action News, taking action for you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm James Sully.
And good morning, I'm Dia Riley. We'll get a look at your wake-up forecast in just a moment. But first, here are your morning headlines. An update on that deadly pedestrian crash in Bartow that we first told you about is breaking news yesterday morning right here on Good Morning Tampa Bay. We now know it was a hit and run that left an 18-year-old dead. And this morning, the driver is now facing charges. According to state troopers, Zachariah Clabo was walking to school along South Jackson Street when 41-year-old Eduardo Perez hit him with his car and drove off. Troopers say Perez drove home, switched cars, and then drove to the Brandon Mall where he was later arrested.
Disney and Governor DeSantis have settled their years-long dispute. The Central Florida Tourism Oversight District and Disney finally agreeing on this settlement. Under the deal, Disney agrees that its 11th hour deal with its old board to circumvent the new governor-appointed board is null and void. It also says the new board will use the old 2020 comprehensive plan moving forward and that the board will work with Disney on any new development agreements in the future. You may remember this all started after Disney openly opposed a state law that placed restrictions on some classroom instructions regarding gender identity and sexual orientation.
A recall alert this morning. Subaru is recalling nearly 120,000 Outback and Legacy vehicles over potentially faulty airbag sensors. The recall involves the 2020 through 2022 model years. A capacitor in the occupant detection system sensors might crack and short circuit, and that could prevent the front passenger airbag from deploying during a crash. Dealers will replace the sensors for free. Impacted owners will be notified of the recall by mail.
Happening today in Tampa, University area residents and community leaders will bike 3 miles in honor of Florida Bike Month. Starting at 8 this morning, participants will receive free bike lights and safety information. The bike ride then kicks off at 9. The event in partnership with FDOT, the Center for Urban Transfer Research at USF, Well Built Bicycles, and Plan Hillsborough.
It is a rainy morning on this Thursday. It rained all night long, but it's time now to see how long it's going to last.
Not exactly opening day weather.
Nope.
Good thing we play in a dome. Here's meteorologist Greg D.
That dome definitely helpful, James and Dia. Good morning, everybody. It is opening day at the Trop, and if you're tailgating before or spending time in St. Pete before or after the game today, It's a mixed bag. Now, in the morning, we're going to be dealing with clouds and rain, and I'm still watching the clouds out there from the Rivergate Tower. No one's reporting any rain right now. St. Pete in the low 70s, Lakeland, Sarasota in the 60s, Tampa 71. Winds are light so far. Here's where all the rain fell yesterday, basically the I-75 corridor west from Bradenton north. Bradenton, in fact, got very little rain south of downtown. Lakeland saw almost nothing. You get down toward Bartow, Lake Wales, Sebring, very little reported, while those closer to the coast up to 4 inches of rain. This morning we're all in the 70s and we're still tracking some showers, even some lightning and thunder with these coming up on the Nature Coast. Here's a closer look. Crystal River, lightning and thunder off to your west. These are moving into Citrus County. 19 is pretty wet from the junction with 98 all the way up toward the Levy County border, and then additional showers farther to the south and west. These will likely continue to fill into the south this morning as this approaches the bay. So I think even Pinellas, Hillsborough, and Polk counties, Pasco as well, have a chance of some rain before 9 o'clock. Then a completely different story for the afternoon. Sunny, breezy, and mild.
And East Tampa Park will soon undergo a massive multi-million-dollar expansion and renovation if city council members vote to approve it today. The plan calls for spending more than $34 million to renovate Fair Oaks Park in Tampa's Jackson Heights neighborhood. The money would be used to create a 10-acre park with a new community center building and a lot of new outdoor spaces, including new basketball, pickleball, and shuffleboard courts. It would also include a turf, sports field, event lawn, and a playground and splash pad. The project would be completed by 2026.
Hernando County wants to help Brooksville families whose neighborhoods flood during extreme rainfalls. A flood vulnerability assessment is currently being conducted for Brooksville. It will identify areas there that flood and offer recommendations to improve resiliency from future flooding events. If you're concerned about your neighborhood, officials want to hear from you during a meeting that's happening tonight at 5 o'clock in Building B at Pasco Hernando State College's North Campus.
Also in Pasco County, the county is holding municipal elections on Tuesday, April 9th. And if you want to vote from home, today is your last day to request a mail ballot be sent to you. You can request one either online at pascovotes.gov or by calling the Pasco Supervisor of Elections office. For your vote to count, the elections office must receive your ballot no later than 7 p.m. on election night.
And history may be made this afternoon at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Weather permitting, the final launch of a Delta IV rocket set for 1:40 p.m. The rocket will put into orbit a classified spy satellite for the U.S. National Reconnaissance Office. There's only a 30% chance of favorable weather, though, for this launch. If the rocket does lift off, you may be able to see it about 3 minutes after the launch if you live east of downtown Tampa.
The push for more women to become religious leaders. Coming up, meet 3 local women now leading this change. Plus, could a solution to our housing crisis be in this historic St. Pete church? The unique proposal up next.
In today's Tech Bites, Meta accused of failing to stop hate speech. GLAAD is accusing Meta of allowing anti-transgender posts to flourish on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. Meta has claimed it creates policies and safe spaces to protect the LGBTQ communities, but GLAAD says Meta is violating its own policies. Next, LinkedIn confirms it is testing a short-form video feed. It lives in the app's navigation bar in a new video tab and offers a feed of short videos to swipe through. Finally, Google is rolling out new updates for your summer vacation plans using AI. Users can say something like, plan me a weekend in Chicago focused on architecture, and they'll get a sample itinerary that includes flights, hotels, best buildings to see, all sorted by days and times. Now, you could always just use a DeLorean to travel from time to time, if that's your thing. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
What's going on with the price of chocolate?
Almost twice the price.
Why has candy become so expensive? The price of deliciousness skyrocketing just in time for Easter. Next, Inside Edition.
Tonight at 7:30 on your ABC Action News Station.
When severe weather's closing in, the ABC Action News Storm Tracker hits the road for you. A weather station on wheels. The Storm Tracker shows you what's really going on outside.
ABC Action News Storm Tracker is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan.
Access to health care is vital, but right now there's a shortage of physicians here in the state. Current projections actually forecast the state needing up to 18,000 physicians by the year 2035 to catch up with the demand of people moving here and other older doctors who will be leaving the field. Right now, the state's working to help combat this, funneling $70 million to increase resident retention rates. It means Tampa Family Health Centers will jump into residency, partnering with Baycare to help train the next generation.
We've had to take back the narrative, funding these GME programs, bringing them into our doors, training them in community health. I always say to my providers, doctors, nurse practitioners, and PA, once you enter community health and you learn here, you can do anything. So we're firm believers that if we have the opportunity to educate the residents, we'll be able to retain them, at least in Florida, even if it's not in our health centers.
To further highlight the importance of this program, only about 5% of community health centers nationally offer residency programs.
The most accurate weather team in Florida, ABC Action Weather.
5:47 on this Thursday morning. Good morning, Tampa Bay. Live look outside from our studios. Still looking at cloudy skies as you look out toward Ray J across Himes Avenue. And we're not done with the rain yet. As I'll show you, there are more showers popping up on the radar, though most are not seeing any showers at this time. Tampa's best rain chance between now and 9 o'clock in the morning. I think between 8 and 9 is when that front will move by, finally clearing us out. Then it just turns beautiful, sunny, and breezy for the rest of the afternoon. This is not going to be a rainy day by any means. Most of the rain, all of it in fact, falling in the morning hours west of 75. For most of you before 9 o'clock in the morning, the afternoon bright, sunny, and very breezy. And Polk County rain's going to be a little bit later into the day. Probably the second half of the morning is when you wrap up. But I think by midday, by lunchtime, most Polk County towns will start to see sunshine returning and those gusty winds as well. Right now, some heavy rain, lightning, and thunder in northern Citrus County. That's the only place that's really seeing the showers. But you notice some of these showers out here in the Gulf, they're kind of building a little farther south. So I think later on this morning, Pasco, Pinellas, Hillsborough will probably get one more little burst of rain. And that's what Futurecast is indicating, the potential for maybe even a couple of heavier storms or downpours to develop, tracking out of Pinellas into Orange County and eventually up towards Daytona Beach. Behind the rain, the wind is going to be an issue today. Frequent gusts of 25 to 30 with some towns gusting over 30 miles per hour at times. So the windiest day we've seen all week, and we've seen some windy ones early in the week for sure. There's the latest Futurecast. This updates hourly. I've got the high-res model loaded today so you can see the showers along the coast 8 o'clock in the morning. By noon, they're already out towards Highway 27 or maybe even farther east toward 95, with the coast already windy, sunny, and dry. And an absolutely gorgeous afternoon with temperatures in the low to mid 70s, breezy and low humidity. That drier air allowing us to cool into the mid 60s by 8 o'clock this evening, and many of us waking up to 40s and 50s on Friday morning. Friday afternoon looks beautiful with temperatures in the mid 70s, and so does the rest of the Easter weekend with highs around 80 degrees.
Coming up, it's a full circle kind of story for Alexia Skye Cologne. She grew up having her dance recitals right here at the Straz, then went on to a Broadway career and has now returned home to be a choreographer for the next generation.
Here's a look at your Tampa Bay area drive times.
No matter how you've been hurt, in a car accident, on the job, or from a medical mistake, it doesn't matter. Life goes on. How that life goes on is where we come in. Farah and Farah.
ABC Action Traffic is sponsored by Farah and Farah.
Good morning. Tampa Bay continues next at 6. Florida has the most teacher vacancies of any U.S. state. Our investigation showing it's due to more than just money.
Also, a Tampa Bay nonprofit receives a massive award. How the money will be used to continue its mission of helping local underserved communities.
And we'll also have the latest on the Baltimore bridge collapse, why recovering the remaining victims' bodies needs to be put on hold.
And it's a win for Governor DeSantis and Republicans in Washington. A federal appeals court decides to keep the congressional map he pushed for in place. While the legal fight, though, is far from over.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Dimmitt Automotive Group, serving Florida's Gulf Coast for over 100 years. ABC Action News is sponsored by Lake Michigan Credit Union. You'll love banking here.